Hey, welcome back to How to Barbecue Right. I'm Malcolm Reed, and today I'm going to show you how I do lamb ribs out on the smoker. Now with springtime coming around, I start seeing a little more lamb in the grocery stores, and we love it out on the grill. It's got a ton of great flavor, a little bit sweet notes to that lamb meat, and it goes great with our barbecue flavors. Let's get started cooking. So I have a couple slabs of lamb ribs that I'm starting with today, and they're very similar to pork ribs. They do have fat on top, and we're not taking that off. I want it to cook down because the lamb is fairly lean and I need that fat for flavor. So what I'm going to do is take my knife and just make some score lines across the top of that fat. You can do it on both slabs. You just want to create that crisscross diamond shaped pattern so that fat can render down and we can get some flavor in the meat. So for seasoning these ribs, I'm starting with the binder first. I'm just using Dijon Mustard, and you want a light coat on the front and back. The first seasoning that we're going to put on is going to be salt, pepper, and garlic. It's my AP rub mixed with some extra herbs that go great with lamb. Then on top of that, I need a little color and a little more sweetness, so I'm just adding the barbecue rub to balance it all out. We're just going to let these hang out inside till we go outside and fire up the grill. To smoke these ribs today, you can use any kind of grill or smoker set up for indirect heat, but I'm using my Gateway drum. I'm firing it up with a good batch of lump charcoal for some good hot heat, using a couple wax cubes to drop down right in the middle of those coals to get it going. Once those coals get good and hot, I want to go ahead and get the lid on and start letting the smoker come up to temp. As it approaches that 250 degree mark, that's when I'm going to adjust the vents and set it to where it'll just stabilize right at that 250 to 275 degrees. Once the smoker is up to temp, I want to go ahead and get some wood on the hot coals. I'm using just a couple chunks of a good cherry wood. It's going to give us a light, sweet smoke. It's going to be perfect for these lamb ribs. Go ahead and get the grate in place, and we'll be ready to cook in just a minute. Okay, I've got the drum up to temperature. I want to run it between 250 and 275. That's perfect for these lamb ribs. You want just a little of that light smoke coming out, not too heavy. That's bad smoke. You want that light, thin, blue colored smoke. Let's get these ribs on the grill. Man, you can't beat the way this cherry smoke smells. It's got a sweet smell to it already. I'm just gonna set the ribs right on the rack, kind of give them some room, let smoke to get around them. We're going meat up. We're gonna cook them for about 2 hours, and then we're gonna wrap them up and get them tender. We'll show you that along the way. Let's get the lid back on. All we have to do now is just let them smoke for a little while, get some of that good cherry flavor on them. After these ribs have been on for about an hour, I'm going to come in and flip them over to meat side down. They're rendering real good, but I want them to cook even. I want that color just right on both sides. It's been another 45 minutes, and I just want to get them flipped back over. You don't want them to get too dark on one side. We're going to let them go 15 more minutes, and then it's going to be time to wrap. After 2 hours in the smoke, these ribs are looking good. They got perfect colors, just what I'm looking for. Now I want to get them tender. So I'm just going to wrap them in a single layer of foil, get them right back on the grate. These ribs have been wrapped for 1 hour. Now it's time to take them inside and get them ready to glaze. So our lamb ribs were wrapped for 1 hour, and that's all they need to tenderize. And I kind of accidentally tore the foil. You can see we lost some juice here, but I'm gonna get these unwrapped, show you what we're working with. The total cook time so far has been right at 3 hours. We smoked them for 2 hours, and then we wrapped them for an hour to get them tender. That little bit of bone popped out, that's okay. Let me get this one over here. We've rendered a lot of that fat off the top of those lamb ribs. They're gonna be really tender. Well, now we're gonna get our final glaze on and get them back out there just for a few minutes. For this glaze, I took a cup of my barbecue sauce. You could use any sauce here. I melted about a 1/4 cup of apricot preserves, added 2 ounces of apple juice to thin it down, and warmed it all up really good. It's sticky, it's sweet, but we get a little bit of those fruit flavors, and lamb does really great with fruit. That's why we were using that cherry wood today. I'm just getting this on the outside. We're gonna put a glaze on it. We're gonna put it back on there to caramelize. You know, 15 minutes tops is all it's gonna take. And these ribs are gonna be ready to serve. Ready to go right back out on the grill, so let's get them out there. I'm gonna get these ribs right back on the grate. Put the lid back on. 15 minutes is about all we need to glaze these ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get them off and show you what we're working with. I mean, these things, absolutely beautiful. That sauce is caramelized down, bones have drawed back. You know they're gonna be delicious. Set them on our pan, get them inside to the cutting board. I'm gonna get some cut up because I can't wait to try them. Okay, I brought the ribs in and just put them on the cutting board, and you don't have to let them rest too long. You just want to get that residual heat off of them, get them to where you can handle them. But hey, this is the best part of the day. This is where you get to cut them up and serve them. So I'm just gonna cut a few bones here, show you what we're working with. You know, look how juicy, oh my goodness. I'm telling you, man, that cherry smoke, these lamb ribs are just as moist as they can be through and through. Just want to get them cut into single bone pieces. Check it out, they're juicy, sticky, they're gonna have a little sweetness to them. Now before I try one of these, and you know I can't wait, let's talk real fast about what we did. We started with a couple racks of lamb ribs. We just used a binder on them, some Dijon mustard, and I got my rub on them. They went 2 hours in that cherry smoke. We was running the cooker right at a little bit under 275 degrees. Then we wrapped them after an hour to get them tender. They stayed in there 1 hour. We put together that quick glaze, got it on top, and then glazed them just for about 15 minutes. Then they're ready to eat. So I'm ready to try one of these lamb ribs. I'm just gonna grab one here. Look at that moisture when I squeeze it. You can just see all that juice running, that fat's rendered down. I'm gonna go back here for one more bite. Lamb has such a unique flavor. I mean, it's a little sweet, but it's super, super rich. It goes great with that cherry wood smoke, the seasonings we put on it, and the sweet apricot glaze works perfect over the end. I'm telling you, you gotta try this recipe. It's gonna take your lamb to another level. If you like what we're doing here at HowToBBQRight, subscribe to our channel. You'll get an email when we put out new videos. You can also send those questions and comments to Facebook and Twitter. We love answering them. We'll see y'all next time.